Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia Leigh. I'm an indie author and freelance editor, and today I'm going to be kind of letting you in on my plans for Camp NaNoWriMo July 2020. Now, before we start that, I do have to say I've moved, and this is my first video filming in the new location, so the background is kind of just a cluttered mess of desks and files and everything else. I haven't really set up a filming area yet, but my office has this ginormous, beautiful window, so I know I want to film in here. I just haven't really set up, truly set up my office yet. So there might be yet another office remodel, office decor video coming out. If you're interested, we could do a whole apartment tour. This is my first apartment. I am so excited. But yes, welcome back to my channel. We have a new setup and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Okay, so today is Monday, June 29th, which means between today, Monday, and tomorrow, Tuesday, June 30th, I need to finish my Whiskey City outline because that is what I want to work on for Camp NaNoWriMo this July. Now, I have wanted to finish this outline for many months. If I can remember correctly, I think my original plan was to finish the outline in April and then write the third draft in May. And now we're at the end of June and that has not happened, but, and I talked about this in a previous video, I'll link it down below. It was things I learned writing and publishing Pistol Daisy, which is down here, available now in ebook and paperback if you are interested in Daisy's story. Anyway, kind of what I talked about in that video was learning that it's okay to not be able to do everything. I have always been somebody who has pushed myself extremely hard. I continue to push myself extremely hard, but there is a limit to what I can achieve in a day or a week or a month. And that's kind of the point that I've been hitting, is that I simply don't have enough time or enough energy to write Whiskey City on top of all of the editing that I've been doing for clients. Now, my outline is currently sitting at 4,831 words, and it is this close to being done. And I know I've said that in the past, and the reason I'm still saying it is because I still have not worked on it or finished it in the past few weeks, I think, since my last live stream with Brooke and Mandy. So I generally, I have everything in the outline, but there are aspects of it that I find weak and that I want to really go back through and strengthen and add to and make sure that the outline is really cohesive and it's a full, complex, and intriguing story. So at almost 5,000 words, my outline is almost complete. And I think what has been happening is that with Pistol Daisy, right down here, I did outline that book, but like with books before it, the outline was kind of thin. Now with Song of the Dryad, I did have a pretty hefty outline, but that was only after writing the first 50,000 words and then going back, it was a whole mess. And I did have a pretty cohesive outline with Song of the Dryad, but then with Pistol Daisy, it was a pretty thin outline. I generally just had this idea and I outlined it and I was so inspired that I just ran with it, and I wrote that book in 2 weeks in January of 2019, but I just published it earlier this month, June 9th, 2020. So I feel like what happened there was, there is a beautiful butterfly, a monarch butterfly outside my window. I'm going to, now that I'm sitting in front of a large window, I will likely get distracted during videos because I can actually see out of the house. But anyway, with Pistol Daisy, I ended up rewriting it multiple times, and I feel that part of that was me just becoming a better writer and being able to better find weaknesses within my own stories. But then I think the flip side of that and the kind of other aspect that played into me having to rewrite the book so many times was that I didn't have a super strong outline going into that first draft. So I had to consistently go back and change things. And the last big major rewrite I did was the heaviest. I rewrote so many aspects, I rewrote so many characters, I added to their backstories, I fleshed out the world. There was just so much that I added in that last rewrite that I've learned so much. I wish I would have been able to do that at the beginning of Pistol Daisy, but I needed to learn those skills, and I feel like that is what I'm trying to do now with Whiskey City. Now, if you are new here or if you've kind of forgotten where I am along my journey, I have written 2 drafts of the second book in the Pistol Daisy series, which is Whiskey City. So this is the second draft, and I just pulled it up on my computer to see the word count on this book, and I was really, really surprised. The current word count on the second draft of Whiskey City is 63,297, which puts this at almost, not quite, I'm not a math person, almost twice the length of Pistol Daisy. Not quite, but almost. And that's pretty exciting because I have read, many series of books where the first book is shorter. Harry Potter is a good example. And then the books in the series continually get longer and longer, like as there's more and more material. And I feel like with Whiskey City, there's a lot more material than in Pistol Daisy, because back here in Pistol Daisy, Daisy is starting out on her journey. It's really the first book is a full story, but it's kind of the start of her journey. And then starting off in Whiskey City, she's in her journey. We know all the main players in the story, and now we're really moving. The story is moving, we're running with it, and we're just gonna see what happens. So this is what I am going to be working on in July. Originally, and by originally I mean a few weeks ago or a month ago, when I had been sat down and was thinking about what I wanted to work on for Camp NaNoWriMo, I thought, okay, I can finish my outline in June and then write the third draft of Whiskey City in July. But again, I am learning that the hours within my days are not endless. They do come to an end at some point, and I really don't think it's realistic to say that I could write the entire third draft of Whiskey City in 1 month. July for me is completely full with editing clients, and I am still learning the best way to manage my time, because with the amount of work I have now, I'm working Monday through Friday full time, often even on weekends when I have a big crunch time. Like this weekend I know I'll be working because I have a project due Friday, and then Monday, and then Wednesday, and then the following Monday. So I have 4 large projects, all copy edits, coming due here in the next 2 weeks. So I have a lot of work to do, and I know I'll be working this weekend. And that's why looking forward into July, I don't think it's that realistic to say, hey, I'm going to write an entire book in July. Even though I have such a strong outline right now, and even though I am going to be able to use some of the content from this 63,000 word draft, even though I will be able to use some content from this, which is exciting, I don't think it's realistic to say, hey, I can write an entire third draft in a month. I used to be able to do that because with pet sitting, which is what I used to do, I had more time on my hands. It was a difficult job. I never had the same hours. I was running around all the time, which really broke up my day, but generally, I would say I had a lot more time on my hands, and it was also a different type of job. It was a physical job. I was out, visiting clients and walking dogs, and that's a physical job. I didn't have to sit and tediously think about my job. So when I would get home at the end of the day or, the afternoon or whenever I got home, I still had creative energy to work on my projects. But I'm learning that with full-time editing, my brain kind of just shrivels up by the end of the day. And I don't have the energy, be it creative or just logical thinking skills, to be able to write a book. So I really have no idea how this is going to go in July. I am almost hesitant to even set a goal because I think I've become afraid of it. I used to be really good at setting lofty goals and crushing those goals, especially NaNoWriMo. I've won NaNoWriMo a few times now, and it's a huge lofty goal, but I've always been good at reaching those goals because I can push myself really hard. But with the way everything is now and the way my work schedule is pretty much through the end of the year, I am learning that I don't really have a whole lot of time on my hands, and I haven't figured out how to do this, how to work with it. So I have a lot of learning to do. I have a lot of learning in terms of how do I structure my days so that I can get back to working on my own books. How do I structure my weeks? Do I get up earlier so that I can write in the mornings? Do I, save Sundays for working on my creative projects? I don't really know. And I hope to kind of vlog the process in July as a means of showing you how I'm working through kind of the journey of establishing a new routine for myself, the journey of getting back into writing, because I haven't written any new material in a book for months now. Months and months and months. I have not written anything new. So that is essentially what I'm going to be doing in July of 2020. I'm going to start writing the third draft of Whiskey City. And I don't know what I want my goal to be. Like, again, I said, oh, I'm kind of scared to set goals, but I also know that if I don't set a goal, then I won't do it, because it'll be, 6 o'clock and I'll be tired and I'll be like, I'm just not going to do it. So let's say, let me look at my outline real fast, and maybe we'll go by like acts, like, oh, I want to get act 1 done or act 2 or whatever. Let me look real fast. There, you can really see it. Okay, so looking at my outline, I think I'm either going to do a word count goal of like 10 to 15,000, or my goal is going to be to get through the first 5 beats of the novel. Maybe that should be my goal. I don't know. I'm really struggling, you guys. I feel like I'm having a writer's identity crisis right now, because I feel like I can't do it because I'm working so much, but I know I can because there's so many authors out there and writers who have full-time jobs and families in some cases, and they're still writing their books. So I know I can. I'm just struggling to figure out how to do it. So let's say at this point, I'm deciding between 2 goals, either a word count goal of 10 to 15,000 words in July, or a goal of writing the first 5 beats of the novel, which will take us up into the break into act 2. So like essentially writing the first act. And again, I know I'm going to be able to reuse hopefully a lot from this, but we'll see, because I changed almost everything. Almost everything got changed. Like the same semblance of, like the same storyline is there, but the way I'm doing it is very different. So before I keep rambling for 20 minutes about my fears, about writing and routine and how the heck am I going to do this, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know in the comments down below if you are participating in Camp NaNoWriMo this July. And if so, what are your goals, number 1, and how do you plan to achieve those goals? Because I'm hoping maybe I could pick up some tips from you guys, like especially if you are somebody who has like a very busy family life, or you work full time. What are your tips for getting words on the page? Because I am struggling, you guys. I am seriously struggling and I need help. So maybe now you can give me tips in the comments down below and help me learn something new and develop a new writing routine. So that is it. Hopefully the sound quality is good in my new apartment. I cannot wait to get everything like really set up in here so it looks really good. I love the light. I love my space, my first ever apartment. I love it. Okay, guys, I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.